Valentina Shevchenko is a hugely important fight for the women's champion, who had the unbelievable So you have a Holly Holm that is chomping at the bit.
The only thing to make that feel better is a victory.
But most more important goals that they have is a belt.
A very physically strong, very durable form. And she's a real threat for
about as much as Nunes or Tate. She's just as dangerous.
Champion of boxing. I am many times world champion of Muay Thai.
I always picture myself with a victory. It's the only way to obtain.
To stand up and trade. Sister, Antonina, her older sister, and 8, Valentina Shevchenko, the younger sister.
This is arguably a fight between the two most decorated strikers with her stand-up. She's so good in the clinch and so well. She had a really tough fight with the now current UFC very physically strong woman on the ground as well. Could take that with her ability to take her to the ground. She is a threat to end. It will put her on the fast track to a world title fight.
Notice, and it is worthy of note, that the takeover, and she's kind of spoke of, all right, next time if we... Valentina Shevchenko. Greatest stars combat sports has ever in her professional career, and the owner of the only
story in combat sports. She's been able to transition from bantamweight world title. There's never been someone who's been able to do that. And what Holly Holm has been able to do in boxing, and when you look at just her athleticism, but her drive to fight and compete out for Ronda Rousey's return. And the same thing with this fight. She hates to go out on a loss.
We are 60. To right now, the former champion, the preacher's daughter, inches taller, and will have a 2-inch reach.
This is the main event. Executive Manager Joe Campuzano. Our 3 judges scoring this begins. Our referee in charge of the Octagon, Robert Madrigal. Those in attendance and UFC fans watching around Illinois. 5 rounds in the UFC. A Muay Thai kickboxer holding a professional record. 12 wins. Out of Lima, Peru, by way of Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. Valentina! And now introducing her opponent. 1 loss. She stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Weighing in at the former UFC bantamweight champion, Holly, the preacher's daughter.
The rules in the back. Valentina, do you have any questions? Holly, do you have any questions? All right, touch gloves.
Valentina Shevchenko. Here we go. Southpaw.
And you see immediately Shevchenko assumes the tradition, fights in a more traditional karate style, traditional martial arts boxing. It's particularly with her counter strike, like we saw in the Ronda Rousey fight.
Yes, and Holly has a Muay Thai practitioner as we get.
Absolutely.
And always have done with Pavel Todorov, who has been there, trained together, sharpen each other's swords, venue that they can.
is making Holly lead. She's moving forward, but she has obviously analyzed the style of Holly Holm. You can get her to overreach. She can have some
strikes first.
She caught her with a clean left hand, Mike.
Holly called this fight, Joe, her toughest fight.
So is Valentina. So this is the first time in her MMA
the stand-up game.
Yeah, and as she said, many people don't know.
Holly said there are a lot of things you have to work.
The top, right there.
Yep.
She's throwing it as a check hook.
Good job, Holly. Keep mixing it up. She wants to come with
decades.
Over and over again, Holly's going to time it. She's going to look for some sort of So let's see how Holly adjusts the exchange kick.
Holm pushing forward, they
clinch. Look how strong Valentina
is. Ultra dangerous.
Well, particularly in her ability to utilize Muay Thai technique. And another one by Holly. But it's pressed up against the cage. She doesn't have nearly as much mobility here. It's important to note because, as we said, Valentina has 3 victories over
Valentina. Final seconds of the first of a potential.
Matches. You got it? Keep mixing things up. You're doing after you missed it, 9-5. Alright?
hell of a flank.
Holly, every time she comes in, she's looking for that jab. Be ready for it.
Valentina. It was actually the right hand that dropped her. The left hand covered. Still, big moment for Holly Holm.
Kickboxing class. Youngest of 3 children, 2 ultra competitive. Greg Jackson, Mike Winklejohn Mike Winklejohn.
Yeah, we had pointed out that would shoot hit the counter.
Coming up next, don't miss a complete recap of all the action in Chicago live on Fox Sports Go. Karen Bryant, Brian Stan, Daniel Cormier.
One thing to point out about her leg dexterity, she's a Taekwondo utilized.
Misha, Ronda, Holly.
Valentina with the clinch, but Holly quickly turns this. Well, Valentina did in the clinch against Sarah Kaufman, who's also very physical. Keep an eye on jab there by Valentina. There's that counter hook. Jab, it will disguise it more.
There's a counter spin.
Well,
if you watch the road to the octagon attack, Valentina Shevchenko is.
Multiple Johns to go to that technique over and over again. Very effective.
90 seconds. Round 2. Holm
tenderizing that right thigh of Holly Holmes.
I like how she's Shevchenko at over 50%. Was trying to set that up with her 30s of Shevchenko's life. And you could make the argument it's the
Holly with that front leg side. Ooh, another nice leg kick by Shevchenko. Hook. And Holly just got her hand up just in time, and that is just good training on her right hook by Valentina.
You way faster, you way faster.
Holly, you're just tapping in short and in short. Just get in there another inch or 2.
Raise one to right now. Holly very accustomed to the last early stoppage of the second of Ronda.
Well, this is a striking fight for the most part.
And Muay Thai is the family business for the Shevchenko.
Time that's been back.
Just missed it. Mike Goldberg, former bantamweight champion Holly Holm, against Valentina Sports Today.
Holly's got to do something to, in this fight, Valentina's been able to win these striking exchanges in this third round. By Valentina, there's that solid jab. And I don't know if the referee saw it.
She got right up. You can see some of the redness from this angle.
There's a mouthpiece on the ground.
Shevchenko puts Holm
as he would have picked that mouthpiece up. But Valentina Shevchenko, my mistake, that is tape.
I thought Holly Holm down. In fact, she's only been taken down 2 times.
Submission.
Absolutely.
And she's cut here, and Valentina advancing her left knee up to try to press down forearm. See how she's moving that left knee up, Mike?
Yep.
If she wants to hold this position, she's got to be
stopped. 13 of 15 takedown.
Shevchenko's got to do something here. She's landed a couple of short punches there, but that's not to maintain these ground positions. And this is a
chance. 28-year-old. She's got a little bit of space and threw some elbows, Joe.
Valentina's working on it now. Big round.
Advance, forward combination, you destroy her. She cannot take you down when you're low.
Ясно, да. Не стремись обязательно заходить в клинч. Ты на дистанции ее
Pay attention. Pay attention what's going on in there.
В партере хорошо удерживай.
Round 4 of this 5 round
to the championship rounds.
Tamisha in the 5th, beat Ronda in the 2nd.
Well, when you consider round against Amanda Nunes and won at a 4th and 5th, now kick there by Valentina after Holly advanced with a
in 2014 in the 5th round. Tyron Woodley and the prelims will come your way 8 p.m. Extremely close. This is the first 5-round fight. It's in Joe, but in MMA, this is the first 5-round fight.
Check hook there. Timing Holly nicely.
Mixed martial artist for Shevchenko.
And as she's doing that, Shevchenko is finding her timing. Really trying to lure Shevchenko out so she can count. Check and then a kick of her own.
2 minutes in round 4.
Just to lead here, and Valentina is countering.
You better put those hands up and let it go. I don't care if she hits you.
Izzy Martinez.
That's it, go, girl.
Good kick to the body there, though. Good kick to the body by Holly on the break.
That time, no takedown. Over the top.
Right there by Valentina. Superman punch, followed by this whole division since Ronda Rousey lost has been up in the air in beating Miesha Tate for the title. Good combination. Valentina's fight very composed here, Mike. Leg kick counter by Shevchenko. There's the Superman punch. Followed. That one kind of bounced off the shoulder and landed. And then
don't let it work.
Единственное, смотри за ее левой рукой, ясно? Да. Ногами заканчивай.
4 combinations. You got it? 4 combinations.
Comes live from Chicago. Main event.
With that right hand.
Highly decorated Taekwondo black belt, Muay Thai practitioner as well.
Missing a little bit of distance in her approach over the top there.
Shevchenko just done a good job controlling weight.
Except for brief exchange distance, she's connecting in the power.
And you saw that graphic, significant strikes, the attempt much higher.
She's just doing a much better job at controlling the distance. That's that right hook over the top.
Man, this is such
spinning back kick to get right back in there because she has a good kick there by Holly.
It's called a loss that she has is a win.
By Shevchenko.
Especially when it wasn't that long ago that you...
Man, the timing of Shevchenko really shining in this fight.
We are past the midway point of our fifth and kick.
Very nicely with those kicks.
Yes.
And landing.
Don't forget, Karen Bryant, Brian Stan, Daniel Cormier, Megan on Fox Sports Go.
Again.
90 seconds remain.
Beautiful kick there by Holly. The more after
time is ticking away,
which of course is the same kick that she knocked
aggressively, so powerfully, and so quickly.
Good counter right hand over the top and slides away. But Holly's getting very aggressive now, Mike.
30 seconds. Big swing and a miss.
Shevchenko, good combination.
They go the distance.
There you go.
Our official decision coming up. After opponent, and she did it tonight against.
Very, very accurate tonight.
All right, official decision is in. Here's Bruce Butler.
For decision. All three judges score this contest. Valentina Bullet Shevchenko.
And we have yet another star in the mix.
Performance against a former world champion in Holly.
I put all my heart, and I want to say thank you, Pedro Caballero. All gyms where I was prepared. Gracie, I'm very excited for this fight, for this victory. It's true. And of course to my brothers from Kyrgyzstan.
You did a lot of countering. You made Holly lead and then
everything what I know to put all my heart, all my power, everything.
You certainly did. Now, your last fight against Amanda Nunes, give us your thoughts about a potential rematch with the now current champion.
And of course, I want rematch for Nunes, Amanda, for the title.
I look forward to seeing you again.
Muchas gracias a todos mis queridos Kyrgyzstana за теплый прием и теплую поддержку в Чикаго.
I'm here with Holly Holm. Give us your thoughts about Valentina, what you thought about this fight.
And I mean, she's a tough girl. I knew that, really, but I knew that I had my hands full with this fight. And I mean, I know it was a competitive fight. I know I could have done more.
What did you expect from her?
We expected counter punches. We expected right things. I always say I have no excuses. My coaches teach me everything.
I know you will return better than ever. Holly Holm, ladies and gentlemen.
Valentina Shevchenko.